What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Rivah. It's very nice to meet you. Before we get into this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH underscore JORDON. I actually had this pop up in my feed, and the title alone is really interesting. 3 things I learned in my simping days. So I'm really intrigued on how this conversation is going to go. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the video.
YouTube, what it do? It's your boy Steph. So today's video I want to talk about what I have learned through my simping days is me being a beta male cuck. Me, being that way, growing up. 3 things I learned. One of the things I learned is what women say and what women do are 2 different things, right? What women say, and what do I mean by that? This because a lot of guys are new to this. A lot of guys really don't understand. What a woman says is not reality. It's not. What a woman does is what her reality is. Always remember that. What she say, it doesn't matter. She can say she want a nice guy and a good guy, and it's not true that good guys don't finish last. Man, good guys don't even finish the race. Good guys don't last at all, fellas.
And this is unfortunate, but this is true. It's very true. And I won't say that good guys don't finish last or finish the race, but I would say because you have men who are really dominant and strong and powerful and alpha and all these things that are great men. But I think whenever a man is quick to bend, okay, to the dominance of his woman or to the control of his woman, yeah, that's a problem.
And society has deemed us to be good guys, just like how they did Frank Castle and Bruce Wayne. They wanted them to remain good guys after what happened to their families. After they watched their families get torn apart and put to death, they still wanted these people to remain good guys. You get nothing out of being a good guy in this world. Only thing you get is you get taken advantage of. That's it. You get treated like you're nobody. Like you don't exist. The females I used to talk to, bro, and it's just funny because I just think about it still to this day. I'm like, dang, man, like, the game really works when you apply it. I mean, it don't work if you don't apply it, but it really works when you apply it. And I remember when certain chicks I talked to, man, they would just treat me like trash. They would treat me like dirt. And now it's like, 5-6 years later, I was in high school back in 2015. That's when I graduated. 6-7 years later of me being gone from high school, 5 years later, most of them single mothers, complaining on social media, up in my DMs, right?
So, okay, so he graduated 2015. So he's kind of like young. He's like in his like mid-20s. Let me tell you why I think these kind of topics and these kind of conversations are necessary for men from men. Because he sounds like, maybe he was in high school, he was like a nicer guy, apparently, based off of what he was saying. And, he was probably chasing like the really pretty girls that, had an attitude problem. Like they feel like, if I'm talking to you, you should feel lucky. And was getting bad results from these women. And he learned something and started applying it. Like he learned, like he said, how the game works. Started applying it and started getting different results, and was like, oh wow, I'll never be that guy again to get my feelings hurt, to get stomped on, to get treated bad, to get disrespected. Like that's never gonna happen again. And a lot of men, if you sit down and you talk to men or you listen when a man speaks, there's so many men that have those moments where maybe they got heartbroken, they got hurt, they got tried, they got disrespected, whatever, cheated on, whatever the case is, and they say, okay, this feeling, I don't like it, so this is never going to happen again. So how am I going to make sure that this does not happen? And then they change, and get different results. And it sounds very similar to, what he's saying right now. And I think it's so necessary because, men are human beings as well, even though it seems like people act like they have no feelings, no emotions, no nothing. And, they want to be happy as well, even in their relationship statuses. So, and want to be able to be in that dominant role, not just be like, running after somebody's coat tail all the time, or skirt tail, however the saying goes, all the time. So I like that people talk about these things, especially to men, younger men who are going through these things, because at the end of the day, if you're a woman who even has sons, or you have brothers or friends, whatever, you don't want them to be treated less than. You don't want them to be hurt. You don't want no woman out there, just purposely, bashing them or being rude to them or disrespecting them because you love them. But it's the same thing with other men that are not attached to you, that are not in relationships with you. Like, how would you feel that if the tables were turned, and people were treating you ill all the time? I think that's a very, very big thing. So I like that other men can open men's eyes about, relationships in the quote unquote game.
Slept with my best friend.
See?
He got her pregnant. Like, this is all the stuff
See?
that I went through. Right? Me catching the buses in a negative 30-degree weather for those that's from the Midwest, Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit. Y'all know the Midwest is cold as a mud. Minnesota. I'm catching a bus all the way from high numbers, Silver Spring, all the way to Bayshore just to give her something that she don't even appreciate, and what I get, crumbs. You know what I'm saying? That's why I believe, I think 21 Savage said that, a woman can come into a man's life, and he can change that whole woman's life. But a woman can't change a man's life, and that's very true. That's very true. That is how we use hypergamy to our advantage. I will say this again. I will always say this. Your success as a man is equivalent to her beauty in her prime. If you are not successful, bro, you are not seen in this world with women. Or should I say, a lot of women. And successful is subjective. It doesn't mean you're a millionaire. It just means that you're well off. And well off just means that when the bills paid, you well off. You can do as you please. Because you're free. And I just think about these things, man. Like, I remember the chick I used to talk to over the phone, like, every other night. I used to validate her, blow her head up, and call her beautiful, and I always wanted to get with her. And she'd be crying over the phone with me about some guy that's cheating on her. And 2 months later, she taking a Valentine's Day picture with him. She taking a Valentine's Day picture with him. And that brings me over to my next reason. Next thing that I learned about women, female nature, in my simping days. Once he is her sexual imprint, there is no going back. There is no getting away. There is no escape away from him. Like the girl I was just telling you guys about, right? The girl I was just telling you guys about, she was mad in love with this dude. Would never give me the time of day. Would never pull up on me and have me come talk to her in her car. With nothing. I wouldn't get nothing. As soon as I got a girl, now she all up on me. As soon as I got a girl, now when she see me at State Fair, oh, hey, Stephon, hey. But it was never like that when I was single. It was never like that when I was single. So there's a bonus credit to 2B, or should I say 2A, 2B. Once you get a girl, or you get women, or should I say, once you get a girl, or once women see that other women find you attractive, like you with other women and stuff like that, they're going to want to be with you. It's crazy. It's backwards. right?
It's very backwards. It's very, very backwards. But I could use this example for, I mean, and I think it kind of works both ways. You know, I think it works both ways because it's the same thing as yeah, it works both ways because even as a woman, when you are a pretty woman and you're in a relationship with a man that maybe people walk past or don't really look at, it's the same exact thing. All of a sudden, all the girls want to be with him because you experienced him, so they want to as well. So it's kind of a both situation for sure. Um, and I think it's necessary just to make like one point that there is different types of women in the world. Obviously, we know that, but he's speaking from his probably his age bracket, but also modern women in the percentage of women who actually are just like in the dating world right now, right? Like a lot of the women who are upholding certain traditions are kind women, nice women, sweet women, feminine women are not having the same exact men are not having the same exact experiences with them because a lot of those women get into relationships right away, get engaged right away. Somebody is snatching that up. So, speaking from his perspective on the dating realm and how women are, again, like I said, that he's experiencing, which is the majority of women. Okay, there's not that many women who have that traditional mindset. I think it's insane that he's able to break down how backwards the thinking is. That is, I mean, it's so true. Doesn't make sense.
But staying on topic with number two, I watch some of these female YouTube channels, and it was one of these videos that said that, how to not fall in love with the player. And the first step she said was to not sleep with the player. And I read the comments, and all the females said, "Sis, I'm sorry, but I failed level one." Of course they will fail level one. Because the player is who she wants. The player is her sexual imprint. That Chad, that Tyrone.
He said Pookie and Ray Ray?
Guy that's just irresistible, a guy that she can never stop thinking about. That's what she wants forever. That's the second thing that, I learned in my simping days. No matter what, I cannot stop her from wanting to talk to that one guy. I'm gonna tell you something, man.
You know what it is? And this is just being real. What it is about that whole player thing, like that whole player situation, like why do women like players, or why do women like men who have all these options, but then when the guy is single and he's so interested in you, like you don't want to be with him? It's really the experience that a woman sees when she sees you. Okay, so she's looking at a man that she sees as a player. He has a lot of different women or whatever, especially if she is, kind of, experienced or interested or intrigued in that. She's looking at this man that has a lot of different experience and is like, that what's that thing on TikTok? Like, I like the swag. Actually, I love the swag. Give me the swag. Like, like that whole little thing that's like on social media and stuff like that. That's what it is. It's like there's like this air about you that you have experience with different women, and all these different women are like calling on you and hanging on your coattails saying like, hey, look at me, pick me, blah 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 blah. And it's interesting to a woman. It's intriguing because what is it about this guy? So it's that surety that a man has. When that man has surety and he's stepping and he knows like, nah, it's up for me. Like if I see a female or whatever the case is, it's never gonna be a problem for me. It's just a different energy than the guy that's just so readily available and yet is using tools, right? Using tools to like, hey, I'm the right guy. Look, I bought you this, I bought you that, I bought you that. Here's flowers, here's this, here's cards, here's chocolates, here's this, this. It looks like you're compensating for something.
That's why I don't encourage guys to take single mothers serious on a commitment level, on an exclusivity level, because baby daddy is always in them guts. Baby daddy is always on her mind.
And we know that this isn't 100% accurate all the time, obviously. Like, it's not obvious. It's obvious that not every single mother is in a relationship with their baby father, or active with their baby father. But I'm gonna let him finish. Then I'm gonna say what I was gonna say. You waiting for me?
But you just a cleanup man. Kid ain't yours no way. Because it's that emotional attachment that she built through sex. And it's something that you, as a man, you cannot break that barrier. You can't. You just can't. And that's just something that you got to deal with. We all, as men, sometimes as men, you got to realize, I can't sleep with her. She don't want me. Why do you are afraid of rejection as a man, dog? If she don't want to sleep with you, bro, move on to the next female that want to.
I love that statement that he just said. Like, if you know, if she's not interested in you and she rejects you, whatever, just move on. I like that so much because I feel like there's a lot of, men that don't have these kind of mindsets or this kind of control. Okay, when it comes to females, to women, when it comes to their access to women, they become very aggressive and harmful. So I like that he's, from man to man is saying like, hey, like it's really not that deep. Like you could really holler at somebody else, or you could really, there's always gonna be another option. This is not the end all be all because one person rejected you. Love that so much. What I was gonna say about the what he said about baby mothers and their baby fathers. What it really is that in a lot of cases, I'm not gonna say all because some people have ulterior motives, but in some cases that is 100% true because when that woman was having a child with this person, she was anticipating being in this person's life forever, for the rest of her life, for her whole child's life, right? So which is forever. So when you are now coming around, she's always going to be comparing you to him, because that's the person that ultimately she was thinking of sharing her life with. Worse, if he's, and I say this is like a not a bad thing, but worse if he's such a good father and he's still in her life, it's a hard situation because she's always seeing him. She's always gonna, no matter what, she's always gonna try to impress him. If he come around, she's gonna make sure she look good, she smell good. She doesn't want him to have any bad visuals of her, especially if those feelings are there. Depending on who ended the relationship, like it becomes very, very complicated when, you are entering in a relationship with somebody who does have children with somebody else just because of the history. Like, especially they created a child, like they created a life. That's a hard thing to compete with, and that's just being real.
Want to be a part of you. The sex is better when she wants to really do it, not when she's forced. Not when it's transactional.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he ain't nothing. No, I don't really like him. Stefan, she crying to me on the phone. I remember these conversations I had with this chick. This chick was very beautiful. Mm-hmm. She now somewhere in college. Oh, Stefan, she crying to him. He ain't nothing. He did me so wrong. I went through his phone. He was sleeping with all these chicks. A week later, they post a picture on Facebook. She digging out them guts. Extra credit number 2, you have about 2 weeks to 1 week before you get with the woman that broke up with her ex-boyfriend. There's a small window that you have to get back with her, or her get back with her man.
It's just so funny that he's like broken it down to like a science, a time frame, a window. Like he's really observant.
Women hate being alone. They can talk about their boyfriend can be as beta as ever. Their boyfriend can be very beta, but I'm gonna tell you that these women rather be with a beta boyfriend than being alone. Trust me. And they don't even know why. These women talk all this crap in the beginning. Oh yeah, I'm single. I'm doing me. 2 days later, bam, that emotional wall hit them because they can't help it. They cannot be alone. They can't be us. And that's why when the man is afraid to be alone, what is he called? A beta male.
This is 100 because, I mean, this is how every woman has been. I mean, now you have all these women talking about they don't need no man and all this kind of stuff, and they rather be alone. You know, you have a lot of women that are thinking with this masculine mindset, even though we're not the same, and it's obviously not going to give them the same results because they're not a man. But you have a lot of women, you know, from, like I said, Disney movies, Lifetime movies, like all these different things that, like, they love. They want to be in love. They want to have somebody love them, and they want, you know, someone to obviously validate them. And that might sound real crazy, but it's a valid truth. You know, so that is true. A lot of women do want to be in relationships, no matter how they try to make it seem to their friends, to their family, to social media, to their ex. They do want to be in a relationship ultimately.
That's the second thing I knew growing up in my simp days. I figured it out that, you know, that imprint, that guy, she'd never stop talking to that one guy that really did it to her. That really did it for her. No matter what. You know, these women can make all these dating advices. Women make dating advice for women to get out of situations, and I make advice for you guys to understand situations because we're not into situations because that's just how we were created. Women were created to be entitled and always into someone's situation. So that's why when they're not in a man's space and a man's situation, or when they're not in getting that attention, they feel some type of way. Because they're always entitled to want to be in situations. Women are born in situations. We have to create them.
Yeah.
We as men have to create situations for ourselves. We have to create the vibe. Women already just vibe is automatically there because she's a woman. She has titties and ass. Right?
She was born. Yeah, she's a woman.
Facts. So when these women make these type of videos, it's for them to get out of the situation that they're in. I make videos for guys to understand that the situation that they're going to get into and how they can get into the situation, how they can get into the guts, how they can get into the relationship with the alpha mindset, how they can build a rotation with chicks because we don't just automatically have that. The average guy is not getting laid.
It's true.
Let's just keep it a buck.
It's true. It's very, very true. And because women have that ability, right? We hear people always say the saying, like, men control this access to relationships, women control access to, you know, we hear it everywhere. The only person I heard say that first was Kevin Samuels, but I hear it all the time now, right? Which doesn't matter. I'm just using that as an example to say that women do control that, right? A woman can say no, and if a woman says no and you still do it, then we already know what that's called. So that's very, very true. And there's a lot of men who are in that situation who don't have that access because they don't know the quote unquote game, right? And it becomes a very dangerous thing for both parties. It becomes a very, very dangerous situation. That's why, again, I love the fact that he said, you know, if she says no, don't worry about it. Like, focus on yourself. Work on what it is that you're doing wrong, and there will be somebody else. You know, I love the fact that he gave that validation to other men. Like, hey, that's not the end all be all. I love that. Because what he just said about the reality of, you know, men having that same intimacy and be out here is so true.
That's the final thing that I really figured out, I learned about female nature. The last and final thing that I learned through my simping days was it's crazy, bro. It's really crazy that a ring don't mean shit.
Say it again for the people in the back. Say it again for the people in the back, because I don't think anybody heard you. Would you say the ring don't mean anything? Let me find out why he said that.
Yeah, I do. No, that don't mean nothing. That means nothing. It's all about her respect level with you as a man.
Yes.
That's what it's all about, fellas.
Yes.
The ring, it don't really matter. all these steps, all these things that I went through in my life, that's why I talk about them. Because I don't just hands-on experience these things. I experience these things through other people as well. Because I see it from another side as well. Right? And when I see it, it's just crazy to me. And all like you can't red pill your friends. You can't like wake your friends up. They like some guy asked Steph, is it possible for a guy to understand these things and he didn't go through heartbreak? No, it's not possible. You gotta go through these things to understand what I'm really coming through. Because if not, you gonna be commenting that beta male simp man trying to comment. Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Yes.
I've been hurt a lot, fellas. That's why I talk about these things. I've been hurt a lot in my life.
Correct, which is the same thing I said in the beginning of this video. Furthermore, okay, what he said about the ring is on 100%. And I want to elaborate because people like to think like, oh, well, does that mean that you don't value marriage? Does that mean that you don't care about that? No. What I'm saying is, okay, and what he's saying, I'm just going to elaborate from what I know because he didn't give the full elaboration, but I want to give mine because I don't want to speak for him. But if a woman does not respect you, if a woman does not look at you as somebody who she ultimately respects, even if you propose to that woman, even if you're married to that woman will go be up under the person who she does respect. Not every woman is a cheater, but we're just talking about, we're just being real. Or she's always going to be comparing you to the man who she does respect. Even if she's not intimately cheating, her mind might be wandering, or she might be comparing you to someone that she did respect, or she might constantly disrespect you, even though she's your wife, because she looks at you as somebody who is not worthy of her respect because of how things maneuver in the relationship, because that dominance was not the platform for the relationship from the beginning. My bad, y'all. Got passionate. From the beginning, that was not the move. That's 100%. That is 100% valid. 100% valid.
Right? I've been hurt a lot in my life. It hurts the most when you put your all into a woman and she gives you back 0%. I had that done to me 3 times. 3 times. And I would be a fool to have it done the 4th time. That's why I give you guys the game. That's why I tell you guys to look out for these things when dealing with women. I don't want you to hate them. I just want you to understand them and embrace it.
Yeah. And shout out to him for saying that too. That he is not, because there's some advice out there that will make men feel like, well, what's the point? We don't need to be with them. We don't need them, I like the fact that he's talking from a place of, you need to understand what's going on so you know how to move, so you have better results. Not just like, oh, forget women, they don't matter, we don't need them. Like, I think that's a very like ridiculous mindset to have, because like it's good to be in relationships, it's good to be with each other, it's good for a lot of different reasons, but it's also knowing how to maneuver in the relationship as a woman and as a man. Both roles need to be established.
There's always a woman out there for you. You, as a man, if you want a higher quality type of woman as far as on the SMV scale, you got to improve yourself, fellas. Extra credit. What I learned in my simping days. Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all want me. What does that mean? When you're successful and you're on your grind as a man and you self-improving yourself, women want you.
Yeah.
When you first start off, they're not going to want you. When you start getting results, they're going to want you.
And I think that says to a plethora of women, I think that speaks to the majority of women, having multiple women. And again, there's going to be, this is not every single case. There's going to be some cases where a woman is going to see something in you, see your drive, your ambition, your motivation, and be with you from those stages. But is that the majority of women? No. But it is possible to have a woman that is down with you from the beginning and that will sustain. But is that the majority? No. He's talking about the majority.
I learned that in my simping days. Why? Because I first started my self-improvement in my entrepreneurship, my business, and me really working on myself 5 years ago. Now that I'm 22 years young, I can really see how real hypergamy is. Women at the gym didn't even know who I was, but they was always giving me choosing signals. And then when they found out who I was, now they speak to me every day with a flirty sexual vibe. And they're probably watching this video right now. I don't care. You can't help it. You can't help to know who I am right now, and it's very intriguing to you. That's another thing, fellas. So what if your girl watched these videos? So what if your wife watched these videos? So what if the women in her rotation watch these videos? She can't help it. She can't help it. She can't help it. She can't help but to have the intriguing thought of your seductive words, your alpha mindset, your masculine frame, 24/7, digging out her guts until she busts. Literally just digging out her guts and talking to her, all sexy and soft. Because her emotions is involved in with how you make her feel.
I think that this is he's just really funny to me. He's really funny because he's just like, she can't help it. Like, that's just so funny to me. That's why I was laughing. But I think the valid statement is, a strong, dominant man that is so sure of himself and secure and is strong in every aspect, okay, in that intimacy, he has ambition, he's a clean person, he can, whatever it is that he can do. A man that has like all these spaces, that's going to be top tier to a woman. I mean, a man that is able to, be, like I said, be there intimately for you in an intimacy aspect, is a dominant man, not has this ability to just have dominion over you. A woman is going to be attracted to that. It's just something that's very attractive in that. And so with him saying like, oh, other women are going to watch these videos, they can't help it. It's more of saying that like, you're supposed to be that guy for your woman. And if you're not that guy for your woman, she is going to be intrigued by that still. Because she is a woman. She's still going to be intrigued by that man that has a certain dominant nature about himself and stuff like that. Like, because as a woman, that's just what you're attracted to. So that's 100.
She can hear these videos all she wants. It don't matter. Don't matter. So that's why I talk about these things, man, because I'm going through these things right now still to this day. Had a woman say, oh, how come you didn't tell me you were famous? That is hypergamy.
Famous.
That's why when you are a high value man, you have to walk like it, talk like it, and look like it at all times. Mm-hmm. At all times. Mm-hmm. Start working on yourself, man. Work on your wardrobe. Work on your shoe game, man. Your cologne game. Mm-hmm. Woman standing next to you talking to you, you should be smelling like a boss. Because you are a boss.
It all matters. It all matters. And that's just in life. People take you more seriously when, if you walk into a place and you smell good, you look good, everything makes sense from head to toe. Like and you also have this like aura about yourself. Yeah, it definitely matters.
And you gotta walk like you a boss. You gotta look like you a boss. You gotta look like you it, bruh.
Yeah.
Start with up here though.
Yeah.
If here ain't good, then you can't do nothing. It's not gonna change.
True.
You're really gonna remain the same.
True.
That's what it's about. Mm-hmm. These things that I learned through the simping days, bruh, had made me become a colder man, a better man. Yeah, you might be going through red pill rage. She hurt your heart. She broke your heart. I just think that we just need to move on from that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But one day we'll get it. And one day it'll make sense.
Oh, my bad. Sorry,
It's not for everybody to get.
True. Good point.
But like I said, if you get it, you'll be cold, G.
That's a great point too. Okay, because it's not for all of these talk. The stuff that I talk about as a woman, and when your man is dominant and you have to do certain things and keeping up yourself and going to the gym, working out, looking good all the time for your man, all these things. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to relate to that. There's different people in the world. Just like there's not every man that is even feels like this. Like he just said, he has men in his comment section like, who hurt you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be different people in the world. That's very, very true. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I actually just saw this video literally popped up on my homepage, and I was like, I'm gonna react to this because I really like the title. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know if you guys want more reactions from this channel, because I absolutely will do them. So make sure you guys leave your comments in the comment section down below. You guys know for a fact that I do not edit these videos, okay? I be popping up here and talking to y'all straight. So I'm sorry that I almost flipped the table. No, I was flipped the whole, camera off talking to you guys. But I just be real with you guys. I'm authentic with you guys. I give you guys my honest feedback. I watch a video right in front of you guys, with you guys, and we have honest dialogue, honest conversation. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and as you know, the link to the original video is always going to be in the description box, so you can always check out the original video. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to this channel. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow my Instagram. It's at RIVAH_JORDON. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.